everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford using Polychromos pencils. We'll be doing this coffee pot in this video, so let's come in closer. You'll be able to see it a little bit better, I hope, and we can get started. Now, I was having a little look at this yesterday actually when I was doing the beetle and wondering what to do with it really. I'm just going to try and hold the page down a bit. There we go. Oh, it's not going to work. Never mind. And I was looking at how this ornate bit is here and how it is sort of I wasn't sure. So I think what I'm going to do is do this inside part first and then think about the outside after. I think that might be a little bit easier. Now I had a little tiny mushroom and then these, which I think are flowers. We have leaves and we have grass. So let's start with the grass. I think that's the easiest thing to sort of know what we're doing colour-wise with, and we're going to use the grass green. Sorry about the light. I've had to shut the blind because the sun is shining, which I'm quite pleased about because my son is on his way to uni and I hope he doesn't get wet. And my parents are also on their way out for lunch in the same town my son is. I mean, just because it's not raining here doesn't mean it's not going to rain there. But anyway, it was raining a little bit. But of course it was very typical. I thought, I know what, it's sunny. I'll put my washing on and my solar panels will provide the electric for the machine. So I put my washing on and the solar panel switched off because it was so rainy. I was like, that wasn't well planned. So we've just got a basic layer of the grass green and I'm going to use the leaf green now. Oh, I can't get that in focus. There you go. Is that going to be okay? Not sure. I'm going to start by doing the bottom of these tufty bits, a little bit of the darker colour. It's probably hard to see. And then I'm just going to draw on lots of little teeny lines with this one. Now it needs to be quite sharp. I'm going to sharpen it. I can't find my sharpener. There it is. I tidied it up. Imagine tidying up your desk. I was actually recording my completed pages video. I record them out of order sometimes. So I was recording that ready to go out on the 30th, which is a few days ago. So hopefully you've already seen it. And I need a clear desk for all the books and things to show up. I'm going to make it a little bit of a darker bit around some of these plants. I don't know how much it's going to show. And around the bottom. Like that. There we go. Let's finish there. Now our flowers, the tall ones, I think we would have a green stem, so we can do that first. I think we'll stick with the sort of similar greens and go with the permanent green and just do those stems. I'm going to keep them really plain and simple because they are quite thin. There we go. And then fill in these leaves. So I'm going to use this same green. I think it'll tie it together. I can try and fade towards the tip a little bit. If there isn't enough of a difference when I've finished, I'll put a slightly darker colour into the base. I'll just see how it works out really and how it looks. And so far I'm happy. Yeah, I was on the phone to my mum. My son went off to uni. My other son went off first thing, and then my husband went, and then my other son went. So I had a bit of a lunch, and I thought I'd come and record a bit, which is nice and quiet in the house. Having finished, the washing machine is finished, it's not noisy anymore. Of course, you know, my solar panels turn off while my washing is going. I'm just going to use the grass green again to just do a little bit around those leaves because I can see gaps where I missed here particularly. Yes, so the sun's come out now, the washing's finished, having gone in. It was raining so much that the solar panels turned right off. Like, hey! Anyways, it's fine. Right. I'm looking at these thinking what colours. We've got mushrooms, we've got I think might start with our little mushroom toadstool, whichever it is, and use the burnt sienna for the underside. This bit in here is really small. I normally like to shade it a bit, there's no space. And then the top of our mushroom, I'm going to use the burnt ochre. So it's a sort of slightly orangey browny colour, and I'm going to try to make it a little bit darker on the outside edges compared with the middle. Now if you want, you can put little dots on it, you know, spots on it, but I think it's fine like that. We do need to do the stem though before I forget. Let's go for a grey. This one has got a big chunk out of the wood, look at that. This is the warm grade 3. There we go. Now these flowers, I think we could do them in different colours. It just make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to start with the red, I think. Why not? I don't normally do red flowers, so it'll be a little bit different. I'm just checking that my sons aren't sending me messages. This is middle cadmium red, but they're not, so that's okay. One of them's got an appointment. I just hope he's remembered. He seemed confident that he would remember, so with the careers department, I'm trying to get them into the habit of setting themselves little reminders, but I don't know whether that always works. I'm trying to go a bit darker at the top. I'm going to do the same on each of these little bits, so they're a little bit darker at the top and lighter towards the bottom, but I still want a fairly intense colour. And we'll just work our way up. It's very unusual. I don't think I've ever coloured a sort of garden in a coffee pot before. It's a good idea. Johanna's imagination. This page actually has got a lot of really imaginative ideas. You know, the frog sitting on the books, flamingo with flowers growing out of its back, a magical jar of flowers, and the balloon with a whale on it. You know, these are really quite, as I say, imaginative and quite different. Some of them aren't. Some of them are, you know, the boat with the mushrooms in. We've had one of those before. Not exactly the same, but similar. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people have been saying the book is a little bit samey, but nothing is exactly the same. And for me, you know, I colour Johanna's books several copies anyway. So for me, having something the same doesn't matter. This is scarlet red. If they were too much the same, I wouldn't colour more than one book, because it would be like colouring the same book over and over. But to me, it isn't. They're all different. They've got their own character. You know, the pictures are all different. And I still can very often know which book of Johanna's the pictures I see are from, which means that I think sometimes they're easy to tell apart because they're different to each other, if you know what I mean. But also I just know, you know, having coloured all of them, it helps. And I don't know why it's so memorable for Johanna's books, when actually this is a light cadmium red. For a book like for Maria Trolle's or Hannah Carlson, I really don't know which pictures come from which books. I think that's partly because I didn't get each book when it was new, and like with Johanna's, she has a new book out and I finish it before the next one comes out, so I've sort of got that in my memory. Whereas with Hannah's books and Maria's books, I got them out of order, and sometimes I got several at the same time, so then it makes it a little bit less memorable as to which pictures are from which book. But that it doesn't matter. But I always have a soft spot for Johanna, as I'm sure you can tell. you know, the first, I'm just moving some pencils, the first books, you know, colouring books that I had, well, adult colouring books. I did have colouring books as a child. I'm going to do this sort of sky in this light cobalt turquoise. I think it's a quite nice pale colour. Now, around the edge here, look, down here, we've got a rim. I'm going to continue that, not here, but up here and across the top and down there. You'll see what I mean, so just don't, so here there's no line, so I'm going to follow there, but we're going to go up to there, like that, okay, and then across to here, like that, because what I am thinking this is like our coffee pot is a glass one, it's see-through, and we're looking into it. This isn't printed on the outside. I feel that this is maybe inside. But now I'm wondering, would it make more sense if it was printed on the outside? But it's a magical world. So, because now I'm wondering whether it might look nicer, rather than trying to make this around here look see-through, maybe make it a dark colour so that it sort of frames it. Now I'm in two minds. What to do? Let's colour this bit, put another layer here where Johanna's drawn these dots, like that. Try and get it as even as I can. Not very even is the answer. I can't do it that well. There we go. Now, I had this idea for the pot. I think I'm going to stick with it. Will it work? Let's go for it. I'm going to try making it copper. I quite like, I bet it might end up looking gold, but that, I don't think that matters. This is the burnt umber, and I'm going to mark the darkest areas here. So I'm thinking these loopy bits, maybe they're slightly dipped in, so it might be a bit of a shadow around them here, like that. I can do that sort of shadowy mark all the way around, like that. Now I'm getting distracted because I'm wondering if my son's remembered his appointment. Just going to go off and chat to him. Okay, now I won't be thinking about that. Right, so I'm still using the burnt umber, and we're going to do, I think the bottom of here, Johanna's put some lines on there as if to tell us to put a bit of dark colour there. This line I feel might be a shine rather than darker. Let's put a bit here and here. On the underside of our handle, where there would be some shadow, and under there. Now I'm thinking that could be a gemstone, so I might just not colour that at the minute. We'll do the lid though. Not sure about this bit. I think we'll just colour it like that. Yeah. Now I don't know what I'm going to do around the outside of here yet, so I'm not going to do anything there until a little bit later. Now we're going to grab this colour, which we used already, the burnt sienna. We used it. Oh, my telephone's ringing. Hold on. Right, I am back now, having been quite distracted by that spam phone call. And burnt sienna, I probably did say, but I'm just going to expand some of these areas where I put my darker colour. Yeah, down here. There we go. Yeah, it was something about my Amazon Prime coming to an end and me being billed. Yeah, I do have Prime at the moment, but I grab it free sometimes when I want to buy something, and then cancel it. And I've cancelled them all, and then they sort of, you still get some of the benefits until until the actual cancellation date, until the month's up. I'm really surprised that Amazon keep giving me it for free all the time, but I've never paid for it. Oh, I did once, but no, something weird happened. I took up Prime and I cancelled it, as I always do, and then I got this message saying you aren't using all of your Prime benefits. And I was having a look and I was like, but I shouldn't be getting any because I've cancelled. So I messaged, this is brown ochre, I messaged customer services at Amazon and said, something seems to have gone wrong because it seems to imply that I've still got Prime when I shouldn't because I cancelled it. And what was the response? The response was, well, oh, I'm sorry, we can see you haven't used any of your Prime benefits. We'll give you a refund. And they gave me a refund for something I never paid for. And I was very, very confused. So anyway, that was odd. So they think I've paid for it, but I didn't. So I'm confused by Amazon there. But anyway, that was that. There we go. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. I am just extending these areas of colour that I've put down already with this ochre. It's looking not very bronzy at the moment, but we're going to add a colour next which I hope will make it look a bit more bronze-like. I'm going to do a little bit down here first. Now usually when I'm doing a metallic look I'll leave a little bit of white or a little bit of paper showing to make it look a bit like white, but these ones here I probably won't, because there I want to try and make them look like they're dipped in. At the moment they don't look like that, they look the opposite. We'll get there. So what orangey colour am I going to use to get us a bronzy look? Could use a terracotta, but I think that'll be a little bit too dark, so I think I'm going to go for the what's that? Is that the orange glaze? Yeah, I'm going to go for the orange glaze. I don't think you can see that. And we'll try this. So I'm going to start at the top and work down. So I'm going to go over everything I've done and then just bring the colour a little further in. I still want a gap in the centre, so if you can, these small items, bits are quite hard, and you can now see that orange coming through, particularly on this one, and you will on this one too. On the larger areas it's be much more pronounced, just because it's easier to get a bigger area of colour in there. There we go. Now we will, don't worry, it's not going to, it looks orange now, it's not going to end up looking orange. It'll have another colour on top. But I just want to get enough down so that we've got that sort of underlying orangey tone, which should help us. I put a bit along the top here. It does look very, very orangey. Here I haven't got a lot of space. Doing my best here. I'm going to cover all of this. As I say, don't worry. Am I talking to you? Am I talking to myself when I'm going, don't worry? Right, now we're going to put on a sort of yellowy colour which should bring it all back to looking slightly less orange. I'm going to use this one. This is the dark cadmium yellow. It's still quite an orangey tone, and I'm hoping it will just balance everything. So we'll start here at the top. Now this is going to be my final layer of colour, so I still want the tiny tad of white showing, but you'll see it will just tone it down enough to make it look a bit more bronzy, in my opinion anyway. There we go. So it's a sort of copper pot. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'd had a long ponder, a silent ponder, just to check, and I was happy. So that's all good. We're going to go over this. I want to leave our sort of white line here, almost where those dots are really. Can leave a bit on the very edge. Find it easier to work up. There we go. From the bottom. Those dipped in bits need some more work. Not happy with those. I'm gonna go back into them. I'm going to use the burnt umber again. I think I might have to go over the whole thing a bit. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to really emphasize that edge though. That's better. And of course you could colour them like jewels, like they're standing out, but I'm happy with them like that. Now, let's do this little gemstone here. I'm thinking like a slightly ambery tone. I haven't got that colour, but I'm going to start with this. This is the dark chrome yellow, and I'm going to, on this piece on the far left, make it much darker in the base and lighter as we go up. This one I'm going to make it lighter on that side, the left side, and lighter as we go across. This one I'm going to make it darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. And then this one I'm going to come across from both sides and make a diagonal line across the middle. Hard for you to see. Then I'm going to take the burnt umber and I'm going to add this on top of the darker areas, the areas that made the darkest. So I'm going to sharpen that. We need a really fine point for this. So a really dark bit right down in that corner, down that line there, on the top of that one, and this one in each corner, like that. Right, now what we're going to do around here, well, I think I'm going to do my dark blue idea, like a frame, like as if it's just a picture on our teapot. It's not looking very rounded, that part, it's looking quite flat, which is something. Oh, I just snapped my pencil and the sharpener. I don't know how I managed that. I was just careless, I think. I opened it to make sure there was no lead inside the sharpener. Now I've got sharpenings all over the place. Right. Sorry. I'm just gonna do a bit of a clean up job. There we go. Right, so the bluish turquoise is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to put it around this edge here. I want it to be like a frame, a border, you know. But how are we going to make our teapot look like the body of the pot isn't flat? Well, we have a few different options available. We can put some white pen on it to create what will look like a shine in certain areas, but we can also use our Paynes grey to draw in a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to do this first, right on the edge here, and just draw in some shadow like that. And on this side. Like that. Then we're going to get our white pen, play with that. find it first. There it is. Here it is, Jelly Roll 10. We're going to use it first on our little gemstone at the top here. If we blank out most of the lines, the black lines, but not too hard, it's quite difficult to do, then it can look a bit more shiny. It's quite tricky on such a small item. Then we'll put a little bit of a few lines on to indicate shine on the edges of our pot. And down here and around here, if you do it around the curve, just on the right, there we go, down this side, around there a bit on here. Don't put any on those dips. Remember, they're supposed to be dipped in, so they won't be catching the light or looking at all shiny. Just put a couple of bits on this side too, and on the lid, or else it will look like we've forgotten it. There we go. So there is our coffee pot. I'm trying to find the lid of my pen. I put it on the end of the pen. Whoops. So there it is. It's not looking anything like how I imagined it would look, but actually I'm rather pleased, I have to say. So there's the coffee pot. We've got a cute little frog to do tomorrow. I can't wait. But until then, I hope that you have a super day. Enjoy your colouring, and yeah, have fun. Enjoy your books if you've got them, and happy colouring.